I'd always been fascinated by like the muscle men cartoons, you know, like He-Man and that sort of stuff. That sort of superhero, freaky size thing. And I think I've always had a bit of a problem in visually seeing myself for what I truly look like. But you know, I know I've got more in me, and I will find it.
Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to do a quick review of a documentary that was sent to me. I'm going to link the trailer to it down below, and I'm going to link the Facebook page down below. And I thought this was a really good documentary. It's only an hour long, so it's not a really long watch. You guys should definitely check it out. I don't know what they're charging for it, and I don't know if there's any sort of free links to it available anywhere. I was sent a free copy by a friend of mine who really wanted me to watch this and thought I might enjoy it, and I thought I would go ahead and do a review on it for you guys. Now, it is about a local British bodybuilder named Dave Crossland. I enjoyed it because part of it is because the guy was so honest about what goes on in his life. He was so honest about what hardcore bodybuilding really entails, and he didn't try to whitewash it with this silly, glamorized bullshit like you saw in that piece of shit Generation Iron, to where they don't really talk about what bodybuilding is really about. Honestly, guys, bodybuilding at the top levels is about three things. It's about drugs. Okay, 5 things. More drugs, genetics, shitloads of food, and drugs. Those are the 5 things it's really about. And then maybe training back behind that, because any training style just about seems to produce pro bodybuilders. As long as the genetics of food and the drugs are there and you train hard, even the training style doesn't even seem to matter that much. As long as they're training hard. And this man does train hard. He trains his ass off. He eats his ass off. Well, eats his ass on. This dude eats like 7,000 to 10,000 calories a day, and he's hitting a lot of juice. He goes into details about what he uses, what his scheduling looks like. It advises other people not to do it, warns people about the risks of abuse, but says this is what he has to do to reach his goals. Now, something else I find interesting is that all these kids out there who think that if they just use gear, they're going to get magically shredded. And I'll say, well, you guys who are naturally lean, and I mean you're lean because you have no appetite, you don't eat shit, you guys will get shredded on trend. But this is an example of a guy who, yeah, he is using 2.5 grams of test a week, but he's using 1 gram of tren. That is considered the ultimate shredded sick cunt benchmark, is 1 gram of tren a week, because that's what you guys all get shredded on. Well, he's getting big, he's gaining fat and muscle both while on it. And then on top of that, he's on another magical fat burning steroid, Anavar, at 200 milligrams a day. Yeah, 200 fucking milligrams of Anavar a day. All right, that's 5 total grams of gear. Half of it are considered magical fat burning steroids, yet he is bulking on it, and bulking on it quite successfully. And I love his honesty. I love his straightforwardness with it, and his talk about the sacrifices you make in your life, the sacrifices you make in your family life, your social life, your life having to revolve around food. Because when you're eating 7,000 plus calories a day, you're pretty much packing food around with you everywhere. And then you see a little bit more of his sensitive side, and you see a little bit more about who the man is. Now, for those who don't pick up on British slang, you don't know the slang term. He never actually says it, but he says it in British slang that he's been in prison. But you see the side of him that is a father, the side of him that is a loving husband. And I think some of that, if you look into it closer, is a little more insightful as to why he makes this choice to make these sacrifices to be as big as he is. I think it speaks a lot about his personality and who he truly is. Because let's be honest, perfectly normal, balanced people don't put themselves through this. And then on top of that, for all of you who love the topic of hardcore bodybuilding, the one other thing that seems to have kind of a cult following discussing on the internet, he talks about the gay for pay stuff a little bit, about the various offers that he gets for it, and he turns it down because he is a happily married man, loves his wife, he has to turn away women also, which I think is also very typical of guys who get into this lifestyle, because a lot of the men who get involved in this are married. A lot of the younger guys think that they do this to get women, but guys who do this for their own personal reasons aren't interested in the women. And you have to turn them away pretty often. And as a married man, that can be very frustrating. Dave, that's something I relate to, and I get people on the internet who say shit like, oh, you're a fat, disgusting guy, Jason, no one would ever be attracted to you. Well, the thing is, I know what Dave's talking about. I pretty routinely have women approach me in public, and because British women are very, very forward. And so when David says he gets this problem a little bit, and it really bothers him, I believe him. So I thought that was also an interesting side caveat to all of it, discussing the problem with certain women approaching you, problem with the gay guys approaching you, propositioning you money for different things. And that being a big part of what goes on with this. But overall, great documentary. I hope all of you check it out if you get a chance. I think a lot of you will enjoy it because it really does show you guys what it actually takes to get really big. And a lot of people are, even who realize there are drugs involved, don't realize literally how much food, how many drugs, and what sort of sacrifices are involved in someone getting that big. So I give this documentary 2 biceps up. Mount Bicephus. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.